Little tips on how to capture good photos for your lashes and your clients.
So if you don't have skills like me, this could help.
Exactly. And it shows off your work really nicely too, because it gets that detail of the extensions. Yeah, don't catfish your clients, okay?
No catfishing clients. I am not a fan of that. When the person went on her website and saw that it was somebody else's photo, she instantly called me.
This is your resume.
Yeah.
It's a visual resume of what you can do and provide for your clients.
I have one video on TikTok that just keeps on going.
You're listening to Not Just Lashes. Here are your hosts, Shanique and Dixie.
Welcome to Not Just Lashes.
Lashes. We talk about the good,
Bad,
and ugly.
dun, dun, dun. And I'm Dixie.
I'm Shanique.
And today, what sparked our topic was I saw a funny, relatable Instagram video of this girl. She was lashing her client, and she was done. She took the iPads off, and she's looking at her client, and she has taped to her forehead, remind me to take your picture, or ask me to take your picture. And I was like, that's so true, because there's so many times where you get done, you're like, oh, they look so good. You talk, and then they love them. You're talking, and then you're like, then they're out the door, and then you're like, no, I wanted to take a picture of the house.
Yes.
So many times.
Yes.
There's so many photos on my phone that are before pictures, and I have no afters.
Yeah, same, or vice versa. You know,
exactly.
Same thing. I know.
So today's topic is just around photography and clients and how to handle those situations and little tips and tricks that we've learned over the time, and also kind of teaching Shanique.
Everybody loves a good party picture with me.
Yeah. I don't love when Shanique takes my photos.
I don't like it when I take my own.
It's the weirdest angle. I don't know how my head
Maybe because I'm taller than everybody, and I just don't know how to. No.
Well,
I'm trying to find an excuse.
You
but I
go
can't.
down here to take photos, right? When we'd
know.
be sitting at a table, having dinner, and you go here.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe because you guys are shorter when you're sitting down. Because if I go to I
And then
do
you
it
just
because
can
you guys are
angle
small.
it down. I don't know.
Whatever.
But all I know is I look funny in all the photos.
Well, you're not alone.
No.
So does everyone else when I take a picture.
But also specifically little tips on how to capture good photos for your lashes and your clients, or even just makeup or whatever services you do, brows, all of those kinds of things, because Instagram has become for us and your professional portfolio. It's to show off your work and give examples of what you do.
I do facials. You do facial, and just asking the person too.
Yeah. So
especially.
that brings me to my first thing is, obviously most of us have waivers when it's your first time client. They fill it out that they're aware of the allergies that come with extensions and XYZ. So have a little part in there that says that they consent to having their photograph taken and used for Instagram and things like that. I always like to remind,
even when they're underage too. Kelly and Ash are so good at that. Do you have an underage form, that has the,
for the adult to sign it? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And so we do.
Yeah.
And then it says, may we take your picture? And some people do say no.
Yeah. Or some people, they're just signing away and they don't realize, the terms and conditions. But then that just, helps with all of the, I've always been awkward about oh, should I post their picture or not? Will they be mad? But at least then you can be I had your consent. Yeah. So that takes away that kind of nervous energy of posting your work. And then I would say too, when you're taking their picture, a lot of the time they're oh, don't get my face, or oh, you look so ugly. I'm just remind them, I'm just getting your eyeball. Literally, I just want to get the lash work. And then usually they're okay with it. So that's a little hit that I like to give. Just keep reminding them,
want
no,
to be
I'm
in
just
completely in a photo. That just say, I'm just getting your beautiful eyes. That's it.
Yes, I'm just
and
trying
then
to show off
them
my hard work.
Yeah, damn it, let me take your picture.
But yeah, so it's really hard to remember to take photos. So I would say like little tips and tricks is having your like setup for photo taking just ready to go. So you can just move them into like a designated spot, let's say in your room. Like I have a wall, like a white wall. There's no art on it or anything like that. It's just a white wall. And I'm like, okay, well, I know I can at least get them to stand right there. It's next to my door.
Yeah.
I can just pull them over there, get the shot. I already have the lighting that I know. I don't have to go grab a light and do all these kinds of things. Just get a couple shots and then they can go on their way. You know, so having your space prepped, like we always had, and as we've gotten busier and stuff, like we always had the selfie wall. Like it started off being the flowers in the back.
Yeah.
Like somebody made it when she was in her small studio. Who made it?
I can't remember her name right now.
Was it a client or a...
No, she was like the social media manager.
Oh, yes. Yeah, before me.
Before you.
But yeah, so it was just
She's
like
you
a
need
frame.
something cute to put behind, you know, a client. When you're taking these pictures, it'll be easier for you.
Yeah, it's like,
And
it
I
was like a
okay.
mini version of those photo walls like that you take pictures. So it's like a frame. So pretty much would just be from here to there, a frame, and like she just glued fake flowers on it, and then you would always have consistently after your client was done, you take a photo, or I would take the photo because I was your assistant, and you can clean up for your next client, but I would take the photo against that wall. And so you always constantly had that as your background. You were known for the flowers and then
yes, people would just walk by and say, "Can my daughter take a picture?" You know, people just it actually drawed more business, and that's a good thing. And you could make things like what this gal did is that she bought a big frame, she put chicken wire, I guess, in it, and then she wired the flowers. Like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you could removable wallpaper and just put it on a little slice of your wall.
We have a selfie wall still, kind of. It's a selfie arch.
Selfie arch, yeah. Well, no, when we moved into the spa, we had a whole big flower wall, and we had a chalkboard, and then we always had a ring light out there, and that was in the lobby area. So we would always have like, okay, can I just take it on the selfie wall? Or they would take their own photos, and it was like a great way to get content.
Yeah. And have like a night, like if you have an idea or to make it simpler for Instagram, right? Like the selfie wall created like a consistent pattern.
Exactly. Yes.
You know, if you're looking for that too.
So that helps too with your Lash page. It's going to look clean. It's going to look professional. So you can think about things like that. You can even do I was going to say a neon sign, but you really don't want light coming from behind the person. But if you had like a wooden sign or a painted sign of some sort, like
Kelly, the neon sign.
No, I was just saying you can't do a neon sign behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you
Where
can't.
Where did I miss that? Where was my brain?
She's like... She doesn't actually listen to me. She just sits there and goes, oh yeah. Just kidding. But yeah, so you could do like a sign with your Instagram handle on it, or just your business name, and so that helps too with your marketing and branding. So those are some good ideas. So then if you have that set up, you can just quickly be like, can I just pop you against this wall quick? You don't have to set it up. You don't have to like wait and like get all that. And then they can get on their way. So doing that is a good idea to help prep for the clients. I always have on hand, like I know most ring lights, or not even ring lights, but the lights I have from Glamcore, they have a little place to put your phone on.
Yes.
So when I've wanted content of me like doing the lashes, like a video, or just like to take little pictures here and there, I would purposely set it up before my client would come in, situate it, and then when they would lie down, I'd look at it through it and be like, okay, is it lined up? And then press record or something and just let it go. And then I'd look through the footage or the pictures. I'd randomly go up and take a photo or something. So that's another good way to get some content and also just some different angles and everything. So there's that. I brought this today.
The little
magnifying thing. So if you want to get, they're off Amazon. Oh, wow, there's already a fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Make sure your lenses are
really
clean.
does help if you want a nice, clean, crisp, detailed picture. Sometimes, I mean, I have that and it's just sitting there because number one, I know like my photos aren't great. But if I just focus on one area, I know I could do it. It does come out great. So if you don't have skills like me, this could help.
Exactly. And it shows off your work really nicely too, because it gets that detail of the extensions. So what you do with these is you actually, one, make sure all of your lenses are clean
and so not broken.
So what helps too is having like those wipes on your lash tray. So like what I do is like, because normally I'll try to clean it with my lab coat, but I've noticed like it really doesn't get it like crispy clean. So what I do is like, if I know and I'm like prepped in my mind, I'm going to take a photo. Like while their eyes are drying or whatnot, or they're opening their eyes, I'll quickly take like and clean the lenses. And then that way I'm ready to go and I can be like, quick, boop, just really easily done that way. But what you can do is with these is you want to put it on, if you have the 3 cameras, you want to put it on the bottom one. So if you have the 2 cameras, you want to put it on the bottom one. And then with these two, like these were really tricky at first to use. I don't know if you remember, like you were like, wait, what? Like,
it was kind of hard because they didn't really tell you. There was no like instructions and we kept trying to find the right lens.
It's all blurry. It's all weird.
Blurry, yeah.
So out of experimentation, I realized you put it on the bottom one and then you have to get up uncomfortably close.
You do.
You have to be like right there. But it really creates such cool, really crisp images. So if you're really wanting to show off your work, and I think
it's a great way to do it.
And they're not that expensive. It's just like a magnifying that you put on it. So those are all ideas just to kind of quick capture.
And we'll put that on the Amazon link,
yes,
right?
it's on Shinixi.com. Where we have our Amazon links that you can go and purchase exactly these ones and also the lights we use. But yeah, so it's having all that kind of set up. And let's see, what else do I have? Let's check my little... Lighting is key.
Yes.
If you can, natural lighting is best. But like in our place, like our windows are all tinted, which is great, but... Then
some of the rooms
we're not getting
work
that natural
good.
light. Yeah.
Like your room works good. Kelly's room works good. But my room does not. I think either there's too much light or not enough light. Or, it's, you would think.
Yeah.
Because I have like many windows, but it doesn't work.
So natural light is best. Like if you have a window and then you can get them in front of the window. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want light coming from behind, like I said before with the neon sign. But one of the things you can do too is adjusting the exposure. And I recently just figured this one out. So like if you're taking a photo, I don't know if you can even see it, but when you're taking a photo and you click and you get it to focus on the lashes or the eyeball, when you focus it and you tap it, you can move this up and down, like sliding up and down on the screen, and that actually adjusts the exposure. So you can make it even brighter or darker just in that little second as it's focused on it. Another little tip is to set a timer, like a 3-second timer. I don't know about you, but like when I'm done lashing, my hands might be a little shaky, honestly. So sometimes like I feel like I'm taking the picture and I don't think I'm moving, but they come out a little blurry.
Yeah.
So setting the timer, it actually freezes it better. And so you get a crisper photo without the blur of like your hand shaking or getting a little tripod.
Yeah,
that always helps. Like I said, a lot of the lights come with like a little, like the media lights have like a little place to set the phone. And then
taking a class. There's classes for that, for Instagram or just photos in general.
Yeah. Or I always say like searching YouTube, just type in, because there's so much more. Like these phones are crazy, and a lot of us don't know
what they're capable of.
Like, if you go into settings, you can change so much in the settings with like HDR, which enhances the shot. But I found out recently by doing research, like HDR is actually taking different photos and different exposures and then blending them all together to create that one photo. But sometimes that's not necessary. So learning how to turn that off.
Really working with your settings, changes everything. I was watching, a content creator, and she was showing like all her tips and tricks. Well, I found out so much more that I didn't even know about my phone, and I'm like, whoa! Like
there's
it just
all these
changes your
settings.
game.
Yeah, to get.
But you got to remember to, with the lighting and all, and what's going on, you got to keep changing it. And I know it's a pain in the butt, but if you could remember and you have the time, do it.
Or there's a way that, like, if you know your lighting in your room, in your space, and you play around with it, like have your friend come in or mom, whatever, or if you're cool with a client, experiment with like the different settings and find what setting works best in that space. And then you can save that and you can go to that setting whenever you're taking pictures in that room.
Yeah.
Which is like another little thing you can do. And then I love just taking every angle. I'm always like joking, like I'm just clicking, just click, 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 click. I'm like, one of these will be the one,
Yeah.
Like, so just capturing different angles to show off the work. But yeah, I think the best thing is practicing and experimenting and seeing and looking at other people's works and seeing like, oh, how did they do that? Because a lot of the times it's not as hard as we may think. No,
it's not. And you could easily find, creators on Instagram that show you all their tips and tricks, which it's amazing if you plan it and you have the time.
Yeah.
But if your client's in a rush and you're in a rush, sometimes it just doesn't pan out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part too.
Yeah.
Is like it's a combination of the two. You both have to be able to do it, and then you have to be set up for it. So I think it's like lashing and like knowing how to lash and be organized. It's like, okay, do you know where you want to put that photo, like what you want to do with that photo, what you want to capture, and then just try to capture it, remind yourself, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you try again on your next client. Setting aside time, I recently, Shanique was like, do you have any content, like pictures of lashes? And I was like, not really. Because I've been so back to back or just not thinking about it.
It's really important.
So this week I wanted to get some more content. So I purposely spread out my clients to have more of a gap in between. So I was able to I was doing a lash lift and I wanted to do time lapse. So then before she came in, I had time in between. So I really set up the lighting and the camera I could do a time lapse.
Yeah.
And then for another client, I had time after and I was like, hey, can we just play around? Can I take some photos? And they're like, yeah, totally.
Amazing.
And so we went around and did some different things, or I brushed had the brush in the picture or something, so it was, for me, I had to set aside time, and that was back to goals and goal setting. I was like, I need to get more content. So my goal that week was to get more photos.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see. And also, if you start if your main thing is lashing, okay, let's just say, and there's so many cool videos of people using slow motion and adding the brush or just having fun with it. Just make it different, or follow somebody that does a lot of different videos and tricks and all.
Yeah,
because it's important.
Because I think it's a good combo to have fun content and not just see an eye, but it's also good to show off your different looks and different things you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ashley, she's really into wet sets, really good at them. So it would be smart, to, ask a friend or put up an advertisement. I want a model to do a wet set on.
Yeah.
And get all of the content, like from start to finish. And they know that they're getting their photograph. They know they're doing that. And so she can get all that content in there. Like she did it to me. I think she wanted to practice. I think it was a wet set. But, and so I knew going in, like, we were going to be taking content. I would be helping take content afterwards, like taking selfies maybe, or, so.
And that's something we've all been like trying to plan.
Yeah.
Is like have a model day and like, do the client's makeup, do her hair, make sure everything is on point, because most of the time when you do see that detail in someone's profile or a company's profile, this is not something they just instantly do after they lash. Like they are preparing. And like you said, to have someone make time to do that, it's really important. It is possible, but sometimes it's not real life.
Exactly. Yeah. No, those really nice photos. I mean, they have all the time in the world. I feel like they're not.
Well, especially if you're a beginner.
Yeah.
This is a good time to make your photos look great. Like do her makeup, or if you don't do the makeup, have her do her makeup and hair, and you take your time and try to make the perfect set. And then once you do that, with the editing, you could edit, the lashes, make them look darker or thicker. But that's, for me personally, what you see is what you get. I would never like Photoshop something to the point where it looks too perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Because the client, that's what they're going to expect.
Yeah, the only thing I ever Photoshop is like literally like if they have a zit.
Yeah.
Or like the coloring's off, or
because sometimes I look orange.
Yeah, and you can easily like go into different little things and edit the lighting a bit, but you want to be able to still be your real self. Like don't overdo it. Or I've seen where they
I had a
blur
client
the
do that.
face, or like just really like and I don't know, to me that's just
it's
it
kind of
distracts
like
from the lashes almost.
I've never experienced this, but all you young puppies out there, okay, imagine you're on a dating website and this one person, you're like, ooh, this person's really attractive. Like they're perfect. And then when you meet them in person,
don't catfish your clients, okay?
No catfishing clients. I am not a fan of that.
That's the point of your work and your portfolio. It's to show what you can do.
Exactly.
So if there's a certain style that you're really good at or you like doing, or I was even telling one of the girls, like they wanted to get more brow client or like doing, and I was like, just get that content going, show that you do that. Cause a lot of the time they might not know, or they might, you gotta put it out there.
Exactly.
But don't catfish your clients.
No, because I had one person do that in the salon. And when the person went on her website and saw that it was somebody else's photo, she instantly like called me and she was like, that is fraud. And I had no idea.
We've gotten our photos stolen in the past. I had another lash artist reach out to me. They're like, by the way, did you know that these person's using your photo? And I was like, oh my gosh, thanks for watching out. But yikes. Like, and it's sad that happens. And
that's not going to gain you clients. If you cannot provide the skill, don't grab somebody else's work, or don't say that you could do something when you 100% know that you cannot.
Exactly.
That's false advertisement.
Yeah, it's false advertisement. This is your resume.
Yeah.
It's a visual resume of what you can do and provide for your clients.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So only save the editing for little flaws. Or I once edited one of my lashes because I took so many photos and I didn't brush. One of them was like
poking out.
Oh my gosh, it was driving me nuts. So I just shaved it down. Because it was like a big middle finger. I was like, I can't. And it was every photo. And all the other lashes looked so good, and I needed content, and so
it's things like
lock me up. I have edited my lashes, but like not to the extent of like a whole new lash or
transforming. Yeah. No. It's kind of like when Instagram first came out, everybody was like, everybody looked Photoshop. I've done it. Like, oh, wow, I look so beautiful. I look 20 years younger.
Yeah.
That's great. And then it's like, wait a minute. No,
That's all I can say.
Yeah. But I mean, I still use Photoshop. Well, not Photoshop. I use a filter when I don't have like any makeup on and you want to do content. I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. Like,
I have nothing on.
yeah,
What am I going to do?
Filters as like a little like helpful, like.
And that could be cute too.
Yeah.
I guess for some clients. Like choosing something quick and easy to do, just add a filter and just make their skin really
Magic
nice.
wand. Yeah. And also like it helps too. Like I've had clients where like they have really bad acne and they're embarrassed or something, you know, and it's hard to capture because like you could do one eye, but a lot of mine are one eyes because that's just, I don't know. I'm just used to doing like the one eye because I'm just so focused. But you want to get different angles and different looks. So I want to show their whole eye and like, you know, they're embarrassed or they don't want, you know. So then I'm like, okay, don't worry. Like I'm still going to do, but I'll block all that out for you. And they're like grateful for it. So it's like but that fine line of not overdoing it. But I just remember at the end of the day, I'm trying to show off my work.
Yeah.
So I'm not focused on that stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a facial too, like you gotta be open and honest. Like if you just magically, boop, all their melasma's gone after one session. Like blur it all out. Like
oh, come on now. No.
And people can see through it too. Yeah.
They do. They call you out. I
You
know.
guys are smart.
I have one video on TikTok that just keeps on going. And it's been going since COVID. Like it's my only one that like really
Which one?
revs up. It's the micro needling, but before and after.
Oh yeah.
And some people are like, "What?" Like mind blown. And it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. But I have people like message me still to this day. That can't be real. There's no way.
Liar.
No. Not like liar. They're accusing me of lying. I'm like, no, that's raw. That's real. You know, and he did have a lot of pit holes and acne and all that. And for me, it was important to show that, you know, and I did ask him, I said, I didn't think I would have such a good outcome right after. Like he's never had a facial, never did microneedling, and he just wanted to smooth out the potholes in a sense. And it came out great.
Yeah, and that's like what you want to show off.
Yes.
But that's when you also like, I mean, commercials and stuff, results may vary, you know, like not one.
Oh my, it's true.
But just being honest with people and
results may vary.
But it's true. Like everybody's different. Everybody's skin's gonna react differently. Everybody's
and
lashes.
It's important to follow up. If you got that one contact, that's amazing, and it's still going after 4 years. Like you know, like I said, keep doing it. Keep going with that. That worked. That grabbed people's attention. Now I'm giving advice, but I'm not taking my own advice because it's hard. Like I just don't have the time. I wish I could, you know, make the time to do it.
So it's important, I feel like, to really focus on this kind of stuff when you're building.
Yes.
Like I think, you know, baby SDs or someone moving to a new city or starting their own business and starting off on their own if they were at a lash bar, whatever. But if you want to show off your work in that way, because when you're a salon owner, when you're podcasting or you're doing all these different hats and stuff, that can get really difficult to get the content. But and then, or if you're like me and I'm busy as well and doing different things, but I was like, man, I really need to get some content. Like I really need to get back on that. So just a friendly reminder to myself. And then, hey, all right, this week's goal, I'm going to take photos after the client is done. Like, I don't care. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to ask. I'm going to get it over with and just do it.
Yeah. Set a time and set a date. And doesn't have to be every day. You could do it like, okay, on Fridays, I'm going to do this. Or on Saturdays, it's more of a slow day. I'm going to really work on that.
Exactly.
So I will take my own advice.
I'm glad this podcast was helpful for you today.
All about me. How to get better. She was directly talking to me this whole time.
This is actually just an episode for Shanique.
She's like, oh my God, we go to Lash Bash. We're going to get some amazing content, right, Shanique?
Yeah. Here are just like some friendly tips. Make sure that your lens is clean, angles, lighting. But yeah, nobody's perfect. We all have terrible photos. And here's another thing too about posting that I've had to tell Shanique's had to tell me, you have to remind yourself is post it, like put it out there. If you, because like you can be such a perfectionist or looking at like that one lash that's out of place, or like I wish I would have like
we're our worst enemy when it comes to...
They're probably not seeing that. Like anytime when I worked for you doing the social media and you would send me photos, you'd be like, oh, but I don't like the other ones. And I'm like, I don't even see that. Looks great. Like you got to show the work, you know? And so don't be scared or don't wait for the perfect thing.
Which is true because just do it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just do it. That's our advice.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, just do it.
Right. I can look at my other tips, but I think we covered most of it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
You're now photo experts.
Where is their certificate? Well,
leave a comment and I will send you one. I will make you a really pretty certificate that you listen to not just Lash advice, and you will get a little reward.
Aww.
Leave your email address. I'll do it. I will. I stick to these things.
Amazing. All right. You can find us anywhere that you listen and watch a podcast, which is
Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Not Just Lashes, and follow us at Not Just Lashes Podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
We will
see you next week.
See ya, chat. Yeah.